Hey guys, how's it going? I haven't done a video for a while, so I'm back with this bad boy. What can I say? I apologise. I know it's been a long time. Life got in the way. It's a whole other story. But this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I finally got my hands on one, so let's dive in straight away and take a look at it. It's the Revell. I suppose it's a Super Stallion CH-53 GSG. It's this particular kit, or the GS, is the one made for the German Luftwaffe. It was bespoke for the German Luftwaffe, apparently. So I don't really know. There's so many variants of this helicopter. I don't know exactly what the differences are between this and, say, the ones that the US Marines fly. It's just like I said. There must be, I don't know. There must be about looking at it, there's at least 6 variants, maybe more. So there you go. Let's dive in. Do typical Revell artwork on the box, side of the box. Some nice pictures here of the finished model. And the price, which is very good, $39, from Burbank House of Hobbies in Burbank, California. The kit itself is a made in Poland, Revell Germany kit. Kit number is 03856. On the other side, I know it's upside down right now, but it's got a colour cool, some pictures of the parts and whatnot. Okay, so it's a bit of a big box. So I'll try to squeeze it in a bit. So let's pop the lid on that. I'll pop that down there. Now, first of all, you can see I've already been in here, right? So I couldn't resist it. I was kind of like wanted to take a quick look at it, quick test fit of the fuselage, which I'm happy to report is an amazing fit straight off the sprue. It does actually come in 2 pieces on 2 sprues. Very nicely secure sprues, so you don't get any bending or misalignment. And this one seems to be pretty straight, pretty true. Really nice raised rivets. Plenty of it, plenty of detail. Panel lines are very strong, nice and deep. And some nice surface detail as well, very crisp. Very, very nice, in fact, I think. Like I said, fits pretty much perfectly straight out of the box, so shouldn't be too much trouble sanding that and finishing it when we come to it. So there's that there. I'm going to put that out of the way because that's a really big part and it's going to get in the way. Also, right, okay, let's get we'll put the instructions to one side for a minute. We'll take a look at those in just a second once we've been through some of the parts. I've got a little packet here of aftermarket detail sets, decals, cockpit, photo etch, whatnot. We'll go through that as well. So I'm going to put that to one side. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's just be some bump there. Right. First of all, as you can see, let's get these out. Some huge sprues. There's the clear plastic. Yeah, Revell sort of tends to do everything on just giant sprues, and a nice sheet of decals, which we'll also take a look at in a minute. So I'm gonna do this. All right, okay, because they're just huge. Right, so I'm gonna get rid of that box down there. There we go. Okay, right, we'll go through these sprues here. First of all, looking at this sprue. Looking at this, it looks like the interior floor, the cockpit floor. We've got some internal cockpit pieces, joysticks, whatnot. And these are obviously the propellers. Look at the propellers are actually really nicely done. The end pieces here, some nice details. The end of the propellers, they're fairly thin, nicely molded. Not seeing much flash, a little bit. I mean, definitely going to need some cleaning up here and there. These nacelles that go on the side. The fuselage, again, more raised rivets, plenty of rivets, and also some nice surface details and whatnot. This kit also has got a hidden surprise, which I've never heard anyone talk about, and I had no idea. The guys in the model shop had no idea. We opened it up and had a look, and we were all really surprised. And on the instructions, it doesn't even tell you, which I'll show you in a bit once we've gone through the sprues. But you do actually get a howitzer here. You get a Jeep. Well, yeah, you get like a Jeep. That's the I don't know, that's the tail thing. But there's the bottom of the Jeep there, right? I'm looking at that. Actually, there's the cockpit piece there, which is a nice detail. I think. Where's that? The Jeep. No. But yeah, so you get 2 extra kits in this. You get a howitzer and like a field gun, and a Jeep, and very nice they are too. And there's nothing on the box to tell you about this. Anyway, so here as well, we've got these big fuel tank or big tank things. I think they're fuel tanks. Here again, some nice subtle surface details, some lines and whatnot. Top of the propeller mechanism there, some nice details on that, and also some very small details and whatnot there. Looks like here, I'm not sure, but that looks like I don't know if you can see that. It looks like the front. It's like a kind of probe that comes off the front, just under the cockpit. On the Seahawk, I've noticed those little short one. I might be wrong, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. We'll have a look on the instructions and see if there's any variants included we can work out. So that's that anyway. Okay, so in this one, because remember the kit gives you 2 variants. You get the GS and the G. So obviously there will be differences. So you've got to basically decide which one you're going to make and look at it accordingly. And straight away here, the propellers are different. So one version has these much larger propellers, different shape propellers, and the other one has the, what's that, just a minute ago, you can see here, has these kind of more square propellers. By the looks of it, yeah. So there's a big difference straight away when you see that. So obviously before you build it, you've got to go through it, decide which version you're going to make. I'm actually going to turn this into a Japanese Coastal Command version. They're Seahawks. So I'm going to try and get the version, get it looking close to the Seahawk as much as I possibly can. So there's this, like I said, on the other sprue. You also get a choice of engine cowlings depending on which version you're going to take. This is obviously, so this to me looks like more of like the other version sprue. Oh, there you go. They've actually put it on the sprue there. It says, I don't know if you can see that there. I'm looking at my camera. That's the GS. So if you're going to do the GS, that's the sprue you're going to need. And now I'm going to look at this and it'll probably say here something like somewhere. No, they don't have it on this one. No. But this one's actually marked up for the GS, this sprue. So be aware of that. Again, some nice details, nice surface details, nice lines, nice panel lines, lots of rivets, etc. Different shape nacelles. Here, or tanks, I don't know what you want to call those, fuel tanks. Yeah, so different. This is the front of the air intakes on the engines. They're different as well. You get a choice of 2 of those, so you can choose the 2 different versions. So there's that. Right, so again here, right. So this is the other sprue with there's a piece dropping out there. But this has got the Jeep on it, look. Right? I'll hold this up and see if I can get it there. There, right? Right there. So you got a Jeep. Which is really cool. And there's all the parts. So you've got wheels, some nicely molded wheels, a little bit of flash on them and whatnot, but you've still got some really nicely molded pieces to build the Jeep. Old-fashioned, old-school US military Jeep seats. And these are the wheels and tyres for the field gun. So, pretty cool. Actually, no, they're not, are they? Or did I? No, actually, wait a minute. It looks like you've got wheels and two different types of wheels and tyres. So that's probably for the two different versions. I don't know. They actually look like car tyres to me. They might well be for the field gun. I don't know. We'll take a look at the instructions and we'll work that one out. But again, here you've got different intakes for a different version, whatever version you choose. Tail rotor, nicely, some nice molded details on the tail rotor. Very nice. All in all, very impressive kit. So a bit flashy, so you will have to do some finishing, a bit of sanding here and there. But all in all, the details are really nice. Very marks out of 20 out of 20 for including the Jeep and the field gun, which is really cool. So if you want to do a diorama, you can have a field gun, the Jeep towing the field gun, driving into the back of the helicopter, or you can have it hanging underneath if you want to go with that. So yeah, cool. All right, so that's that there, and now we've got the clear parts here. Let's have a look at these here. I think they actually look really nice. They look very nice. Let's just pop that open there. There's a little piece of undercarriage that fell off there. I just threw it in there to keep it safe. One piece cockpit glass there. Here. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually really nice. It's a little bit of warping on it, but you know, it is what it is. It's a very large piece of clear. And it's quite thick. So with these, yeah, it's really hard to get them to be super smooth and clear when you're doing like a big chunky piece like that. Because some of it's painted. That's obviously painted. Some of it's glass. So you're going to have to mask that off. But what I would suggest with that is, because it's so big, dip it in Pledge Floor Shine. Dip it. Because the shinier you can get it, for me, visually, I think it will look a little bit less, kind of like less thick, if you like. If you can get it as shiny as possible. Some nice windows as well that go in the fuselage. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Actually, not a bad piece, that. Very nice. Okay, right. So that's pretty much all the parts. Not a huge kit in terms of parts. There is a parts count. It's quite a lot, but certainly I've seen more. So you know, it's not going to be. It's the build of it probably isn't going to be a huge build. Maybe like a couple of weeks to put it together. Let's have a look at the instructions, and then we'll take a look at the details that I bought for it. So really nice picture there. I really like that. If I wasn't going to do the Japanese thing, I definitely would be doing the standard German markings because I think camouflage, because I actually think that's really cool. Standard Revell instructions. Obviously loads of pictures here just to give you a few descriptions of how to do things. Like if you're a novice modeler, you're just starting out, you can check out here. It shows you how to, you know, cut parts off and paint them and whatnot. Paint parts on the sprue. And then obviously they have all the different languages here. So you can go find whatever. Actually this is, yeah, so this is all written in different languages here. About 5 different languages, I think, is it? I don't know, I can't tell. Actually, some of it looks like German. But yeah, what they've done is, you see, yeah, in fact there's about 10 different languages. It's pretty wild, but there you go. So this is all that blah blah blah. Colour call here. They don't really give you a. I'm looking. I'm not seeing a brand as such. It's so weird that they have these in all these different languages. But they do kind of tell you here, look, light grey matte. So anthracite matte. Light olive matte. So you can match whatever your favourite paint brand is to that. These symbols here, you know, what they mean. So that means clear parts, decals, whatnot. So more colours here. So it's a huge couple of pages just for these little colour call, which is kind of funny, but there you go. Then we obviously got the sprue layout here. And you see, this is the thing that was kind of weird. They have the blacked out places here, which is the Jeep and the field gun. But it doesn't actually tell you anything about that, right? So it just says parts not used. So then they're not parts not used because you're definitely going to use them. I don't know why they didn't just include it in the kit. You know, they could have just included that in the kit. I don't know why. Anyway, so nice big color graphics. Starts off with the cockpit seats here, very straightforward. And then obviously you build the inner cabin. They're giving you some color call as you go. These little flags are the color, so you have to refer back to those to the color call at the beginning of the instructions. Here, so looks fairly simple, straightforward cockpit. And then obviously inside the fuselage here, they're telling you there's some holes to drill. You need a 0.5mm drill bit. I've got these. Oh no, I was going to say I've got these, but they don't have a 0.5, they just got 1mm. But I do have, there they are. I do have these, which you can get on. You can get on eBay or Amazon, cheap. Little set of drill bits, and they go right up. You'll have a 0.5 in there. They're really cheap. Here, so bear in mind there are some holes to drill there. Now, you're wondering which version is this that we're building here. It doesn't actually tell you at this point. So you gotta kind of do a little bit of detective work. Go through the instructions first. Maybe get a pen and mark the places where you have a change of parts for the version that you choose to build. I'm sure they'll give you those version choices at some point. So this here, the tailgate there. Obviously you don't glue that because you can open it, opens and closes. The door goes down. Windows to go in the fuselage there. There's a small piece there. It's a wheel well for the front undercarriage. And then obviously you got a pin there that goes through. Don't glue that for the tail rotor. Some kind of looks like a pylon or something that goes there. Oh, it's for the top rotors. All right. Okay. Very simple, right? Excuse me. Rear door comes down. That's in a couple of different pieces. You can open and close it. It's got like the little mud flaps that go down for wheeling vehicles on, which is kind of cool. So if you want to do a diorama, you can have that down, up, close it, whatever. They also give you there's some pieces here where you got to cut holes here in those pieces there. Again, still there's no choice of version. So I'm still not seeing anything different here. This is obviously standard to both versions you're going to build. Right here, once you've got those two pieces together, we're going to come along. It does the undercarriage both sides and those undercarriage nacelles. Then you've got the glass to go on, which you can mask off, and they give you the colours there. Underneath, again, Look at these little markings here that tell you different things to do. So one's painting, gluing, decals, etc. Wheels and undercarriage. You can paint those separately, fix them in. Looks like the front one here. Right, so there you go. So this is now, when we get the 27, there's a change of the air intake. So there's the GS version, which is these ones, and there's the G plus GS version, which is those kind of round bullet ones there. So you could mark that with a pen just so you don't forget, whichever one you want to do. Maybe get a yellow marker pen, one of those highlighters, and highlight the one you're going to do. And same here. They're showing you here for the opposite side, the GS version and the GS plus. And then here there's more holes to be drilled there, depending on which version obviously you do. So what they're saying here is GS plus GS version, which will be this one. It's a little, okay. This is weird. Okay, so what I would do is try, when you build these, just offer them up and try them to see which holes you've got to drill out. But this, according to this, is a little confusing. It looks like you've got to drill those 2 holes out for the GS version there. And here, it's because you've got those 2 little support, or there's like a support, looks like a tube thing that goes in there to those holes there. If you're doing that version, I don't think you have to drill those out. If you're just doing the G plus, which is there, right? Okay, same with the other side. Little wings on the tail. Yeah. All right, now we're getting now with more variation. So if you're doing the GS version, which is the one with the bullet intakes, it looks like, so you've got to do those sides. That side pipe goes on like that, and then moving on here, the GS version. Okay, so this here is all the GS version. So I'm assuming that if we move forward, if we jump forward a little bit here, the GS plus GS version, or G plus GS version. This GS plus thing, GS version thing is going to get a bit weird. So by the looks of this, it is a little bit confusing looking at it, because there's definitely different ones of these, but they're not actually telling you that. They're only telling you the GS version here, right? If you look at those, yeah, where is it? Where was it? Here. Right. On the sprues, here, you have these and these, which are significantly different. So, and then you got these as well, which they've got some more on the other sprue, which are also significantly different. So the instructions are not very clear on that front. So you're really going to have to do some research. Have a look, maybe have a look at some photographs, maybe look at the box, or maybe just exclude these parts, and then what you've got left will obviously be the ones that you're going to need. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing that they only tell you the GS version parts here. So definitely you're going to have to do some fitting and planning when before you start this. So you get rid of all the parts you don't need. Keep the ones you do. So here, GS version, GS version, GS plus, GS version. GS version. GS version. It's all that, isn't it? So yeah, it's a bit weird. Definitely gonna have to do some planning on which version you're gonna build again. So yeah, they're just basically, these are the outside details and whatnot up to here. Once you're kind of getting towards the end of the build here, and then obviously they've got the top rotor attachment You can paint separately and do your. So there you go. The GS version's got the square rotors, and then the G Plus version has got those bigger ones like that. And now at the back here, decals. Lots of decals and painting for the rotors, for the propellers. They do give you a couple of versions here. So they've got this version here. Sorry, this version here, which is the Rhino one, which is just looks like a kind of an olive color. This is all decals. And then you've got another two different versions here. This just looks sort of like decal changes to me. The colors, maybe it's slightly different here and there, but and then they'll give you a camouflage version here, which is quite nice. That's like I said, that's the one I like. I was going to do the German one, and another camo, and the other camo here. So really, it looks like the color stays the same on these versions, except the decals change. So you've got to be aware of that. There's a lot of decals. We'll go look at the decal sheet right now. It's a big decal sheet. Looking at it, there's it's quite thick. The carrier film is actually really tight to around the graphics, so that's not bad, and it actually looks pretty decent. It looks a little thick, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind it. They're actually really nice. The decals are really nice. Very crisp. You can see that. My light's not very good in here. I apologise. So yeah, a lot of decals. Lots of small decals. So this should be fun. But I don't really need any of this. Well, some of it. Because I've actually ordered the Japanese coastal defense version decals, which are totally different, and then they're not as many decals as the German one, which leads us on to this. So this is my up detail pack. I ordered these as well because I got such a good price on the kit. The Academy kit's going for like $200-300 on eBay. So I got to be honest with you, save your money, buy the Revell kit, and then you can spend maybe another $60 on some detail sets, and you're still going to save yourself at least $100, maybe $200. Okay, that's just my point of view. Because you want to do some detail up anyway. The Academy kit they're selling for like $200-300 on eBay, and you get no detail ups with it. So you still got to add another $60-70 worth of details to it if you really want to enhance the kit. So I don't see the point of that. Anyway, so this is what I got. Right, from more decals. This is really cool. I got these Sea Stallion walkways because obviously my version's going to be closer to a Sea Stallion than the regular Super Stallion. So I need these walkways. And this company, I couldn't believe when I found these. It's really nice. Printed by Microscale. I found these on eBay. So the actual walkways, because I thought I'd have to mask and paint these separately. So these go on, you can see it here. They give you a guide. So they go, you can see that they actually go all the way down the side of the helicopter there, and they've got some that go over there. I think these go, I'm going to say here somewhere, like that. So that's pretty cool. Really nice, really good find. I was very excited when I saw that. These are so I got these from Sprue. Actually, no, these were from Sprue Brothers. I tell a lie. They weren't on eBay. They were from Sprue Brothers, and they're really cheap. It was like $10 or something. So we got those. Got some nice Edard cockpit details. Just the color photo etch. Some nice, interior details there from Eddard. Again, this is for the CH-53E, but whatever, it's all kind of the same. The cockpit varies, but it'll fit fine. They'll be fine. You get some nice seat belts, some stuff, little straps. It's quite nice. There, and I believe I can't quite see in that, but you do. Yeah, that's it. So you just get. It's just the interior fascias, which is enough. Is enough. I got this from ResKit. It's the Sea Dragon refueling tube. I just think they look cool, so I want a refueling tube on mine. Very cool. So that's very nice. A lot of resin. ResKit makes some really nice aftermarket accessories for all kinds of planes and whatnot. But for the Super Stallion, they do everything. They do all the stuff for that, so you can get some nice ResKit stuff. Which I got some wheels here, which I'll show you. Made in the Ukraine. Good stuff. Yeah. So we got some nice resin wheels. 2-piece, 3-piece, 3-piece maybe. Resin wheels for the CH-53. Very nice. And these are in-flight wheels as well, so they're not weighted. So, which I'm doing mine in flight. It's going to be carrying something. So yeah, very nice. Some very nice resin wheels there, and from the Great Flying Leathernecks decals, these nice cockpit window masks, which I think are a must. I don't have enough time to be cutting out my own masks. I'm getting too old. So these beautiful die cut masks are definitely worth the money for what, $7 or whatever they are. It just cuts down the time, and you can be more precise. And I just honestly think that life's just too short. So get yourself some of these. Flying Leathernecks do some great stuff. So that's that. Right. So that's all the stuff for the helicopter. Right. Now I'm thinking I want to do a payload. I want to do something like, I want it lifting something. So I'm going to do it in flight, lifting something. So I'm like, what is it going to be lifting? Right, it's a Japanese version, so it's got to have some kind of Japanese military vehicle, something to do with Japan. I mean, you could be lifting anything, right? I've seen them lifting bits of old planes, all kinds of stuff. They do civilian stuff as well, earthquake aid, so they could be lifting a truck out of the way of something that's fallen down. So you can do whatever you want. I picked up this. I was looking at 148 scale vehicles. To me, I do a range of 148s. I picked up this. It's a Type 16 MCV. It's like 14-ton vehicle or whatever it is. Like, I know that they can carry a 14-ton MCV vehicle. I've seen the US ones, the Marines carrying these, something similar. So I know they're capable of lifting something like that. I know they can carry 2 Humvees. I've seen that. So this is kind of cool. So we can have a look through it. We'll have a quick look through it. I'll do it. Actually, no, you know what? I'll save that for another video. We'll go through this one in a separate video, right? So like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then I'll do another video with this one and we'll go through it. The other thing that I was thinking about doing was a what if, a bit of a fantasy payload. Like you can get a 148 Gundam kit from Bandai. So I was thinking it might be kind of cool to have because I know that one of the I've ordered the decals for the Japanese version of the Super Stallion, the Sea Stallion, and I know that one set of the decals that's coming is for one particular squadron that did a earthquake relief operation in Japan. So I kind of thought, earthquakes, Godzilla, Japan, that kind of thing. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be fun? Maybe he could be carrying a broken Gundam or half a Gundam, head and shoulders. They're recovering it from the earthquake. So it's possible that I might switch from having a military vehicle hanging underneath it to maybe a Gundam head and shoulders, which I think would be kind of cool. So you can give me some feedback on that if you want. But I'm definitely kind of a little bit excited about the prospect of doing that. I think it might be kind of cool, especially as the Japanese Sea Stallion is kind of used for those kind of recovery missions a lot. So yeah, so there you have it. That's the Revell 1/48 scale Super Stallion CH-53 GS, and obviously this one, which will be coming down the pipe as well. I'll do a separate video for this. So I'm gonna leave it there. So I hope you have a good weekend. Have a great week. Keep on modeling, and go and subscribe to my Instagram if you haven't already. You'll find me G Construction on Instagram, and my Facebook. You'll find G Construction on Facebook as well. But I'm very rarely on Facebook. I definitely use my Instagram a lot more. And I'll speak to you later. Cheers.